Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at the World Halal Business Conference 2021. I'm Syilda Ismail, Senior Executive Producer of Kini Halal of Malaysia Kini, moderating for this session. Well, we have an interesting discussion ahead for this session where we'll be exploring the Halal Integrated Platform developed and powered by Halal Development Corporation. And each segment will have gathered a list of insightful, experienced panelists from the halal industry. A little of the background, the world now moves at a faster pace when it comes to a new transformation as consumer demands for safe and hygienic products have increased and will continue to do so even after the pandemic. At HDC, several initiatives have been offered for this purpose, including the introduction of the HDC's digital platform, Halal Integrated Platform, HIP. Well, let's go straight into the conversation. I have with me right now Muhammad Hafiz Jamaluddin, Head Halal Integrated Platform. Assalamualaikum Hafiz, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, alhamdulillah.
How busy are you?
Quite busy, but exciting. Can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Myself too, Hafiz. Okay, before we dive further into the vast offerings that Halal Integrated Platform has to offer, perhaps Hafiz, for those who are not familiar with the platform, can you tell us more about HIP, its features? Do demonstrate and walk through with me and the audience.
Okay, thank you, Syilda. So in order for us to access to HIP, what you need to do is you go to hip.hdcglobal.com. Then, if I may share the screen, okay. Then you can, once you log in or register, you have access to HIP, and this is how it looks like when you go into the landing page. So from there, as you can see, there's few menus here. So first, you need to obviously, we need to capture your user profile, and then if you have a business, you can actually fill up all the information about your business, because these are the core information that we want to capture in HIP, right? Okay. And then what's going to happen is that once you have set up your user profile and business, then you can have access to HDC services, where you can actually, you want to acquire training, or you can, if you want to acquire consultancy services from HIP or advisory services in terms of Halal Park, you can do it here in HIP rather than just pick up the phone and call. So this is going to be the digital version of HDC at the moment. And then on top of that, you also have access to our existing HDC program. So now we have Halal Knowledge Center, we have Hyper, we have Dash, and also Halal Ingredient Database. And then we do have HIP community. This is the part where members can actually interact with each other. So practically, this is our own HIP social media that you can actually leverage on. And then on top of that, we have a search feature where you can actually search business. So for example, if I put there HIP, if I search for HIP business, there you go. So from there, you can actually see a lot more detail on those businesses. So if that business has a product, you can see the list of product. So in the future, what we do is that we will enhance the feature so that you can search business based on whatever product that they have, and then you can actually filter based on the halal products and whatnot. So this feature will be available in the future. So that's what we have in the pipeline. And then other than that, you can have access to financial facilities. So what we are doing right now, we are talking to not just banks, but any financial institution that can actually provide financial facility to their members. So you can have access, or you can actually apply Go Halal Fund, Bank Islam Go Halal Fund, by just clicking on the apply now button. Then we will process the application, and then, or you can have any other options, just for example like Jom Settle, and then soon we will publish Mara's grant, and then all these banks, they are right now preparing financial facility to be offered to our HIP members. Okay, then next we have Halal Industry Job Market. This is the part where you can either be, if you are the individual, or you are an individual trying to find a job in halal industry, you can just sign up as the candidate. Or if you are a recruiter, or if you are a company that would like to find candidate that you want to work with you, then you can sign up as a company. So here we have job talent matching platform that can actually help you to find halal professional. Okay. And next we have a list of strategic partners. So here we have SME experts where members can actually leverage on the digital mobile application provided by Bank Islam, and then we have services provided by Malaysian Airline and also HIP online learning. We will make it available soon. And then later you have others. So this is what we do in HIP. We will explore on things that will benefit the members so that they can actually leverage on the services and help their business to grow. Right, basically that's about it. That's what you see in HIP when you log in, and you can have all this access even now.
Okay, thank you so much, Hafiz. Meaning to say it's free, and what are the benefits the members can gain being a member of HIP? Hafiz, perhaps you can elaborate on that.
All right. So when you talk about benefits, right? I think there's two things that we can focus here. So as for members, you have access. You have access to information with regards to suppliers, with regard to products. In order for you to grow, obviously you need to find and you need to connect to other industry players. So this HIP provide that platform in order for you guys for members to get connected with each other. So you can either use the HIP communities platform, or you can either search members through business directories, or you can get in touch with us in HIP, and we can actually create a program for us to actually assist or do an intervention program to the industry in order for the industry to be connected. Because our at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to provide a tool for the industry. So our intention is that we want to make HIP as one of the essential tool for halal industry.
Okay, so why do you think that this is the right time to launch it?
Okay, I believe that this is not the right time, but in fact, this is the best time to launch it because of two things. One is because of the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, the awareness of digitalization, the awareness of the virtual platform is there. And practically after the pandemic, everyone believes that everyone need to be need to digitize. You need to be on board in terms of digitization. So hence, HIP is here to address those needs. Okay, so we believe that once we launch this, there will be a lot of people. In fact, for your information, when we do our pre-registration, we already got about 3,000 members pre-registered. So that shows that they themselves cannot wait to have this launch. That's number one. Number two, with HIP, we would like to give the opportunity for businesses to use information that's available here in order to help or to assist them to get their business back on track. Because I believe now we are at the stage where the economy is going to open back and everyone is actually going back into going back to business. And of course, some of them, they are trying to find ways to see what else that can help them to survive, or maybe expand their business capability. So that's why I said I believe that this now is the best time. It's not just the right time, but it's the best time to actually launch this HIP.
Okay, Hafiz, speaking on the best time, will there be some adoption on e-commerce onto HIP?
Okay, there will be in the future, of course, for your information, for everyone's information, this is only the beginning. When we launch, this is whatever that you see is just the beginning. So we are looking at on monthly basis, we will release features, we will release things that will be made available. So e-commerce is just one of it, one of the features. If I may share, on top of that, we are looking at providing e-procurement services to halal industry, and then we are going to introduce, or we are going to put in the halal ingredient database, and then we will make analytics to be available, because we know that data is a new oil now. So we want to make that available to our members as well, so that they have a visibility on halal industry. And finally, which is the most interesting part, is that we will also integrate with other government agency or any agency that would like to basically share data. So we are looking at, working together with SME Corp. We are looking at working together with MARA and any government. It's not just local government agency, any government agency that willingly to work with us. So those are the things that we are trying to achieve. So we want to connect the dots so that for our members, they don't have to worry about that. What they do is that they just stay put, browse, and use this as their tool in order for them to expand and help to increase their business capability in the halal industry.
Okay, thank you so much, Hafiz. Do stay tuned until the end of the session. Hafiz, don't go away.
No,
there was an interesting introduction and demonstration of what is Halal Integrated Platform. Pretty much we can visualize and see the offerings within the digital platform of HIP and how it works. Okay, do register as HIP members. For details, the website is hip.hdcglobal.com. Thank you. Let's move on to our next session, HIP Strategic Partners. Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Hafiz. That was an interesting introduction of what is Halal Integrated Platform. Do stay tuned until the end of this session because we're going to have another question and answers with Hafiz Jamaluddin, Head of Halal Integrated Platform. All right, for our next segment in the session, we would like to call upon some of our HIP strategic partners whom are the key provider, services, products, consultancy and solution within the Halal Integrated Platform sphere. I have with me Encik Muhammad Husaini Abdul Rahman, Advisor, Halal Training Institute.
Hi Syilda, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. All right, next in line we have Muhammad Nur Idham Nordin, Manager, Halal Consultancy and Advisory.
Yeah, Syilda, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. And we have Fadli Muhammad Arif, Head Halal Parks.
Hi Syilda.
I'm good. Hi. And then we have Nur Asila Hani Shafi'i, Manager, International Corporation Industry Development Division. Hani?
Yeah, hi Syilda.
Hi. And lastly, we have Jarisman Jamlus, Manager, Center of Excellence, COE, Industry Development Division. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, welcome.
All right. Referring to the newly launched Halal Integrated Platform and echoing what Hafiz shared earlier on the demand and potential growth in the halal market, shed a light on what are your roles and also the services offered through the platforms. Let's start the ball rolling and Husaini, take the lead.
Thank you, Syilda. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Husaini Abdul Rahman. I'm the advisor of special projects of Halal Training Institute, HDC. My role at HTI is to manage halal training programs. So today I would like to share about the halal training program provided by HDC. Halal Training Institute, or also known as HTI, is a training arm of HDC. Specializing in halal-related training programs. There are 5 categories of halal-related training program which have been prepared by HTI. Number 1 is Halal Awareness Program. Number 2 is Halal Competency Training Program. Number 3, Halal Governance Training Program. And number 4 is Halal Certified Programs. So in this program, we have the Certified Halal Executive Program and Certified Halal Auditor Program. HTI also has adopted an e-learning training approach recently to ensure seamless access to its training services. We have 2 virtual methodologies, which are online classes and live streaming classes. As we all know, yeah, Syilda, in this current situation and uncertain environment because of COVID-19 pandemic, the training can't happen in person or face-to-face like before. So we hope with these virtual methodologies, more people could attend the halal training program.
Okay, thank you, Husaini. Now, looking into the local halal market, what are the skills and knowledge level of our industry players? Training needed at this point of time, or are they at par with the global halal human capital standards, Husaini?
Thank you, Syilda. Halal skills and knowledge are about how the individual or industry player should practice the Sharia compliance regarding the concept of halal and haram in Islam. This concept should be implemented through the process from farm to fork, because halal skills and knowledge are among the important criteria in the halal industry. When we talk about the level of skills and knowledge among our industry players, I believe they have good halal knowledge and skills in halal industry. Coming back to your question, Syilda, are they at par with global halal and human capital standards?
Yeah.
In my opinion, I believe the industry players in Malaysia specifically are progressive compared to the other countries. It is because, as we all know, that Malaysia is a pioneer in the halal industry. We have been guided by Malaysian halal standards. We have a manual procedure to guide us on how to apply the halal certification. The most important part is we have structured halal training programs for individuals to obtain halal knowledge, not only in Malaysia, but globally. From my perspective, this is the right time to attend the halal training session. As you know, during the lockdown, the training session can be attended online. You can choose your suitable time, to attend the training program, because most of us at this moment work from home. So this is where the halal integrated platform comes into the picture. From the landing page of Halal Integrated Platform, you can find a list of halal training programs. You can choose which training program that you are interested in. So please go to the HIP website, register yourself, and see you there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Husaini. And it's a matter of clickable. Yep. All right, moving on, we have Muhammad Nur Idham Nordin, who is the manager of Halal Consultancy and Advisory. Perhaps you can tell us what are your offerings.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Syilda. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. I am Nur Idham, one of the advisor and part of Halal Consultancy and Advisory team in HDC. Halal Consultancy and Advisory is a one unit in HDC, and our service through HIP platform includes halal certification and advisory, where we have halal conversion, which is a consultation service where we help local and international companies to comply with halal certification requirements, as well as their readiness for halal certificate application. So under the business halal expansion, we have an advisory for halal establishment, where we assist organizations to establish halal laboratory and halal certification body. And to facilitate companies and organizations to grow and expand, we are offering halal third-party assurance, where we provide an independent halal internal audit for our client. And lastly, under local and international halal framework development, one of our service we offer in the HIP platform, we have halal roadmaps and ecosystem development, where we assist in the development of halal industry blueprints and action plans for governments intending to embark on the halal journey. So, Syilda, that's all for me.
Okay.
Over to you.
All right, Norida, I would like to ask, for the existing halal business or even the SMEs, aspiring entrepreneurs, what are the benefits of engaging with your respective services, consultancy, versus trying to grow on their own, trying to have it a la carte rather having it in a package?
Okay. Thank you, Syilda, for the question. So before I answer your question, allow me to explain a little bit of consultants' roles. So consultants work closely with business owner and manager to help identify issues and challenges and offer advice and propose practical solution. So you might think consultant as a doctor who diagnose the program and prescribe a remedy that alleviates a pain. So among the benefits of engaging HCA as halal consultant is number one, in terms of cost saving. When you hire a consultant, you pay only for the service that you need and when you need them. So this can provide substantial saving over hiring a salary employed with the same level of expertise. Moreover, in HCA, our approach in doing the consulting work is using coaching and knowledge transfer, where we pass on the new skills and knowledge to our client so that in future, the company can maintain the halal management system on their own. So secondly, HCA's team consists of various competency where we have a wide range of expertise ranging for Islamic study, food science, service, and supply chain. So our consultant does not offer a one-size-fits-all solution, and our value comes in learning about each client business and goal and tailoring advice and strategy consulting to the specific challenge that the business faces. So pertaining to the HIP, HCA will transfer the Halal Incubation Program for Entrepreneur, or we call it HYPER, and the main targets of this program is to catalyze and facilitate the growth of halal enterprise. So instead of the business owner growing the business on their own, so by onboarding to this program, they will have a second opinion, and also this program can help them or facilitate them in growing and sustaining the business. So I think that's all for me.
Thank you so much, Noridam. All right, moving on, we have Sheikh Fadli Muhammad Arif, who is the head of Halal Parks. Do share your services, Fadli.
Hi, Syilda. Thanks again. Also, thanks to the organizer and HIP for inviting us all here today. Basically, from Halal Parks, before I explain further, the main thing is that for HDC, it's simple. The mandate is about increasing the export, halal exports, and also driving investments, halal investments into Malaysia. So on that note, for Halal Parks, we offer 4 services. Number one is about getting the investment into Malaysia, facilitating that investment into Malaysia. Number 2 is about helping companies that are already within the Halal Parks in Malaysia. There are 14 of them, about 200 odd companies operating. So we are helping them to, in a way, how I like to put it, to open doors for them to new markets, perhaps. Number 3 is about Halmas incentives. So for those companies operating within these Halal Parks, we offer incentives. And again, on that note, that's where we facilitate that application to happen. And finally, it's about developing new Halal Parks. So this is my personal favorite. We want to develop new Halal Parks, be it in Malaysia or even international. And quite amazingly, we have received a few inquiries in regards to that.
Yeah, all right. Interesting to have the inquiries during this pandemic era. Fadli, perhaps you can tell the audience, has the COVID-19 dampened halal industries, or what are the updates on the development of halal parks once business reopen?
Okay, on that question, basically, again, through the data that we have, it's quite surprising to see that as of 2020, investments into halal parks, be it both domestic or foreign, stands about 16 billion, which is a slight improvement from 2019 at about 15.9. So again, COVID, it seems, does not have dampened the rate of investment coming into Malaysia. So that's good. In terms of new halal parks, yes, we receive inquiries actually, both for the past year and a half, both domestic and also international. So I see that all in all, halal is still a very promising industry for companies to participate in.
Okay, thank you so much, Fadli. That's a positive development. Okay, moving up in our lineup is Nur Asila Hani Shafi'i, who's a manager, International Corporation Industry Development Division. Hani, do share your products here.
Yeah, thank you, Syilda, for the introduction. So I'm Hani from International Corporation Department HDC. So if I can summarize what's the role of International Corporation Department. So within HDC, basically we oversee HDC international cooperation matters, specifically in planning, developing, coordinating, and also implementing the development projects or intervention at the international level for halal market penetration. And also, apart from that, we also facilitate and coordinate trade and investment promotion initiative that focus on the halal agenda with public and private stakeholders. And as the pandemic hits us last year, we have come up with the initiative to facilitate Malaysian halal exporters to access the global market, as well as to assist in halal export recovery by introducing DASH, or what we call it, Digital Augmented Reality Showcase of Halal Malaysia, to the halal industry players. In other words, I can say that DASH can be seen as one of the digital marketing strategy and tool to promote Malaysian halal products and services to the world.
Okay, thank you so much, Hani. How does DASH help HIP members in the virtual reality showcase?
Okay, so DASH is basically one of the HDC services that complements HIP through its main features and market accessibility. And I can summarize the advantages of DASH into 3 main points, which are: number 1, we connect. So DASH offers an integrated digital platform which delivers a combination of augmented reality, or AR, and interactive enabled presentation of halal products and services to the market through 2D and 3D visual effects. Number 2, we engage. So through DASH, we let you make a virtual presence at HDC's various events. And DASH is actually an app that can be downloaded and mobilized to any location globally. And through DASH, it doesn't limit your exposure to just at one-off events. And last but not least, we create future by courting customers interactively, where through DASH, we connect businesses to the global market, allows viewers to have a frictionless, relevant, and connected experience. And by subscribing to DASH, it will make your brand and products more appealing virtually. And DASH offers business networking privilege to the subscribing companies through the HDC participation at selected international events, and also the B2B business matching program. So any eligible HIP members can sign up for DASH, especially if they are currently exporting, or a new export-ready companies who wish to access bigger market space through HDC dedicated programs.
Okay, so if you are a member of HIP, what are the benefits if you sign up for DASH?
Okay, so currently existing companies in DASH have the privilege to participate at the HDC identified global events, or what we call it Malaysia Global Halal Show. And currently we are also moving into the second phase of this project. And now we are onboarding more potential exporters into DASH. However, due to limited slots that we have in DASH, we encourage the companies, the interested companies, to reach to us now. And because apart from getting the extensive market access, if you sign up for DASH, your products will be displayed in DASH with professional product shooting, professional copywriting, professional AR 3D modeling, as well as AR video animation. And not to forget, your products will also be featured on the merchant page of DASH Mini site. And for this limited time, do contact us for more details on DASH to sign up requirement. And before I end here, Syilda, I would like to invite all the to experience DASH by downloading the apps via Google Play Store or Apple App Store. So stay global, be digitized, and get DASH. And with that, I thank you, Syilda.
Okay, thank you so much, Hani, for that extensive explanation on DASH. Okay, our last and but not least, we have Jarisma Jamlus, who's the Manager, Center of Excellence, COE, Industry Development Division. Go ahead, Jarisma.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to all ladies and gentlemen in our virtual World Halal Business Conference 2021. Thank you, Ms. Syilda, and also HIP for these opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jarisma Jamlus, Manager of Center of Excellence Industry Development Division, HDC. For information, HKC established in 2009 under the Global Halal Support Center, GSSC, as a one-stop reference center where we offer services such as collecting physical books, e-books, reports, expert presentation, and etc. Initially, it's just like a physical library. Along the way, we had improvised our system into digitalization, create the value via highlighting the unique content by reassigning materials and content and fully implementing the knowledge and promotion ecosystem. The new Halal Knowledge Center, also known as HKC 2.0, we have actually identified our next requirement to all 6 key components, which is infographic, interactive dashboard, publication, e-coaching, halal community of practice, and e-resource. For us to prioritize and embrace or explore the source of halal knowledge back to you, actually from community to the community. Currently, actually we have a collection of 35,000 bibliographical records, 2.5 million database records, 5 modules as tools for the industry, and 1,000 scenarios of analysis. This will be one of the biggest halal virtual reference center, giving benefit to local and international. HKC is complementing the HIP, where actually we could be the focal point on halal knowledge through technology services and statistical data. We have been working closely with government agencies like Department of Statistics, other than the research institute and university, and also industry player. We convey our product and services by using technology as an enabler, which is known as HKC. Through HKC, we assist on market know-how and best practices. Over to you, Syilda.
Okay, interesting. In this day and age, perhaps you can tell us the challenges in technology deployment within the halal industry, Charisman.
Okay, thank you in regards to that, Syilda. Yeah. I would like to share actually a snapshot from HDC Impact Study 2016-2020. For your information, we have done impact study on 2020 for the 5 years program for branding, business, and talent. A lot of finding, but the suitable I can share the related finding here is 2. Number 1 is Malaysia halal manufacturer do not have the guidance and knowledge for accessing new channel for trade. It was found that more than half of halal manufacturers in Malaysia that primarily makes up of SMEs are not involved in exports and e-commerce due to the lack of knowledge, guidance, and expertise. Number 2, actually Malaysia is behind in the use of technology in through the halal certification process. It found that many Malaysians practices towards halal certification is less focused on the use of digital technology when compared to the other global competitor. So the HDC digitalized initiatives such as HKC and HIP will help in addressing the above challenge. Number 1, we introduce more enterprise program that would encourage engagement of halal manufacturer in export and e-commerce. Number 2, we collaborate on a knowledge sharing with countries who are new in the halal industry but are more technologically advanced. That is why HDC is established digital platform and giving the platform to the halal business ecosystem to utilize such as Halal Integrated Platform, Dash, and also now Halal Knowledge Center, HKC 2.0. When we talk about knowledge sharing, HKC is promoting the concept of the knowledge management in the community of practice. Sharing the knowledge among the practitioner, community of practice are referring to a group of people who have interests and who share passion or for a common field to develop knowledge better for them to interact with idea in a structured way. Through this module, actually start by sharing knowledge ecosystem through article, journals, books, poster, or infographic that COP members can share with the community for free or can also be sold using the platform we have set up for them. In addition, HDC as the halal industry lead body appointed by JPK or Skill Development Department is providing the pathway for those in the industry to increase their skills through the Malaysian Skills Certificate SKM. Those who obtain the SKM in the halal field will be also automatically eligible in HCOP or Halal Community of Practice. We encourage you now to register via HIP or also can go to URL hkc.hdcglobal.com. Before I'm passing back to you, Syilda, just want to share 2 important quote related to knowledge. Number 1, from Anas bin Malik reported, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli muslim. The messenger of Allah, peace and blessing be upon him, said, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. Those sources coming from Sunan Ibn Majah, number 224, and it's great as Sahih. Quote number 2 is this is actually coming from Benjamin Franklin. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I hand over back to moderator, Ms. Syilda.
Thank you so much, Arisman. Alhamdulillah, wonderful menu, symbiosis of services from HDC, and all these are incorporated in Halal Integrated Platform. Okay, in order for you to sign up, these services mentioned by the distinguished panelists, please be a HIP member. Well, with that last note, I would like to thank you, our list of panelists in our first session. Again, register HIP for details. The website is hip.hdcglobal.com. And with that, we end the session 1. And thank you. Hello again, I'm Syilda Ismail. We had the previous session with internal HDC strategic partners. In the second session, we are to get to know external technology strategic partners in halal industry. We will be exploring halal in the technological age and of course, listing down some of the assistance, collaborations available on the halal integrated platform for businesses to digitalize. Okay, going straight into our discussion, we know that the concept of halal goods and services have steadily gained traction and interest, be it local and internationally. In this day and age, technology and innovation impacts the halal markets by offering opportunities, easier access, better user experience, online learning, many more. So we cannot deny the fact the world is turning into digital, including halal industry. Okay, together with me today, we have distinguished panelists. Let me introduce, first of all, Dr. Peter F. Lee, Director, Learning and Talent Services, Awan Biru Technology Berhad. How are you, Doctor?
Hi, Syilda. Good.
All right, great. Okay, next in line, we have Nick Nazri Muhammad Nawi, Head of Corporate Sales, Malaysia Airlines Berhad.
Hi, Syilda. Good afternoon. I'm good.
All right, we have Muhammad Fujarizi, Chief Operating Officer, Jom Sata.
Hi, Syilda. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. And we have Matthew Noel Fernandez, Partner and COO of Microleaf. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Syilda. Good to see you.
All right. Okay, without further ado, perhaps we can have each panelist to spare your time to give your background of yourself and the company offerings for the benefit of our audience in HIP. Let's start with Dr. Peter F. Lee, who is the Director, Learning and Talent Services, Awan Biru Technology. Give it away, Doctor.
Thank you, Syilda. Yes, good evening or good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Dr. Peter. I'm actually a medical profession by profession, a medical by profession, but I'm actually into the talent and development and also like more of a change management and digital transformation consultant for Awan Tech. Just a bit of background on Awan Tech Biru, Sdn Berhad or Berhad, I think, because like we are in the public listed company. We have been 20 years in business, into like technology as well as the talent development, right? Where we emphasize on or insist of marrying, right, the technology and also the talent element, okay, to drive the human potential through the lifelong learning, okay, that will be able to meet the global needs and also the global requirement, right? Yes, okay. Syilda, back to you. Right. So,
okay, yeah. I have some questions here, Doctor. Given the growing role of technology and the importance of re-embracing, adopting to it, especially since the global pandemic struck, it is time to prioritize the development of technology and of course, post-COVID-19. Can you tell me more? How does halal talent, since we are in the topic of halal integrated platform, can incorporate technology? And it is the time to embrace digitization. And I like the word that you mentioned just now, lifelong learning journey. Doctor.
Yes, Syilda, thank you. You see, the thing is like, in terms of like incorporating technology, everybody talks about digital technology almost every day, right? Yeah. It's just that how we're going to, I think the most important thing is like, when we talk and we don't learn, so there's something that we will not be able to speak intelligently at the global arena here, right? In the ecosystem. So it's important that we have to understand the digital technology revolution, which is real now. And I would say the revolution is so important. In terms of revolution, it's a no U-turn thingy. It's either you go ahead or you will be left behind, right? So I think this is a very good platform where I think HIP or HDC actually has taken the initiative by launching what we call it as a HIP Persipio Knowledge Hub. Right. Okay. And this is actually a hub where we actually have all the centralized learning, whether it is like related to halal content or even like digital technology, business content or whatever, but into one central platform. And that means like we'll be able to actually gauge the information, whether it is like halal financing, halal food manufacturing, or even anything that are related to halal industry together okay, with what we call it as the soft skill, hard skill, as well as the hard skill, which I will always say that it is a soft skill. I mean, like in terms of like, you know, to create that hardware, okay, in each and every individual. So it is actually a centralized learning hub where it is very easily that you can actually access for you to get the reskilling and upskilling in terms of like halal related or non-halal related content. And like it is actually, if you have registered in this HIP, in fact, HIP has actually gave a very attractive subsidiary, right? In terms of the subscription, where once you get it, and you get actually 1 whole year of access of that particular content. Right, so it is actually an end-to-end solution, and it's actually an AI-driven platform that actually look into from the time where you actually do what we call it as assessing the skills, right? And then knowing your skills gaps, and from the skills gap, you'll be able to curate or even plan your own journey, right? Where it is very structured, or if you do not know how to plan it, there is always a professional body is there who actually has already planned those journey for you, that you can actually go through the journey, and then you can actually skills and also assess the skill, and also monitoring the impact of the learning, so that you'll be able to know that which level you are. So it is actually a library. I would say the library that actually contains about almost 25,000 virtual books and 8,500 over courses that is actually accessible for anybody. So as what we say that why HDC actually looking into this HIP PO is like because that we are going beyond Malaysia, right? We want people to learn while we are sleeping. Means like we are opening this whole hub and stuff like that for those people who are actually from globally accessible, and like you know, and so that they can actually learn as and when. It's actually very mobile access, and you can actually all the content is actually bite-sized and neurologically has been tested, and from the form of evidence-based, so that that is actually those content are giving the most impacted approach and learning skills. So it is that's why I think it is actually this what we call it as a revolution, that it is like things that is accessible and things that you can actually be able to grasp at your own pace, at your own time. And remember, right, a study has shown that you in our working life, we only have 1% of your actual time for you to learn. And that also if you are not disturbed by your kids and your wife.
Okay, that's interesting, Doctor. COVID or not, we need to still embrace our learning, right, Doctor? Okay.
Yes.
All right, moving along, we have Malaysia Airlines Berhad, Nazlin. Perhaps, Nazlin, could you tell us, you know, how does Malaysia Airlines Berhad and also HIP, how you guys are collaborating?
Okay, Syilda, we are very excited with this collaboration with HDC because basically what we are working on with HDC is to provide benefits to HIP members, definitely when they need to travel. How can we help them to manage their travel management? That's one. And second is also how the HIP members can leverage on Malaysia Airlines digital platform to also promote their product and services. So these are the two approach that we have in terms of our collaboration with HDC.
Okay, so what are some of the, when we talk about Malaysia Airlines, of course, we're talking about travels, right? So what are some of the Malaysia Airlines initiatives to support our SMEs and also micro SMEs to make travel simple, less cost, and more efficient? Nazlin.
Okay, a lot of SME out there or companies, right, they are not aware that in Malaysia Airlines, we do have a program that is catered for SMEs and corporate. So we have this program called MHB's Pro. So this is the program that we want to encourage HIP members to subscribe to because one, it is free. Okay, there is no registration fees. There is no other hidden charges for them to use this. We call it a corporate portal. So in the corporate portal, what the company will essentially get is one, it's an exclusive fares, right? In the portal, they can have access to our discounted rates on any booking classes that we are currently selling. So this is not just selling on a higher fare, but any fares that are available at that point of time. So that definitely can reduce their cost of travel, right? And in addition to that, if they need to buy an additional services from Malaysia Airlines, for example, they need to purchase a seat or they need to buy an additional baggage allowance in order for them to go for any trade meetings, they are able to purchase that at a discounted rate as well.
Yeah.
So when you talk corporate portal, right, you might be thinking that I'm an SME, do I really need a tool or a technology to help me manage my travel? Well, the answer is yes, because a process to make a travel booking can be time consuming and can cause headache to their staff, right?
Yeah.
So our corporate portal platform, HIP members can have an automated process that they can design their own booking flow, they can control what other staff are booking for the companies, and they can also access to their own travel report with just an easy click. So all these are provided in the portal. And what I need to also stress is that when HIP members use the portal, not that it's just free, but Malaysia Airlines will also reward them. So depending on how much they spend, Syilda, they can get a free ticket, they can get upgrades, you know. So all these perks are provided to HIP members who are using this portal to manage their travel. So if you recall, I did mention about how can we support SME in promoting their product and services through our digital platform. So for HIP members who sign up to this portal from September to March, through a link that we're going to provide in HIP platform, they are entitled to also access to our digital platform. It's an advertising space, right? So we can promote their product and services through our digital platform. And that is another initiative that we have to help HIP members to grow their businesses. So I would like to invite all HIP members to please check out about this product on our website called KMHBC Pro, and also to sign up through the link that we're going to provide in HIP platform.
Okay, all right. That'd be really fantastic, Nasrin. Moving on, we fly to Fudarazi Mohammed. He's the Chief Operating Officer of Jom Settle. Mohammed, can you tell me what are some of Jom Settle's initiatives in empowering halal micro, small, and medium enterprises?
Okay, hi. Thank you, Syilda. Okay, Jom Settle is the first fintech platform in Malaysia that enables credit card users to make payment to those who don't have any credit card receiving facilities. So means that Jom Settle empowered halal businesses, especially micro businesses, to pay and receive credit card payment virtually from customer without the needs of having credit card payment gateway or even credit card terminal. It means that you can now pay anyone, anything using your credit card. Thus, businesses gain a new settlement method by settling major business overhead expenses via the credit card. So means that we are adding another new settlement method to the business and even individual as well. So by having this, they have more access to their own business capital, working capital, to run their business and to have more interest towards expanding the business as well.
Okay, how does it work? You know, could you explain? You have to make an application or via HIP members, or how do we do it?
Yeah, okay. So basically, if let's say you are interested to join, to register to register Jom Settle to HIP, so they just can simply go to HIP website where the HIP already allocate Jom Settle page section in the platform. So you just can go simply to the page and you can just sign up. All right. So what we actually trying to explain and trying to give some sort of awareness, because whenever that during this kind of pandemic, so the major issue impacting business is cash flow. Okay. Yeah. So a company may be profitable, but without cash flow, it wouldn't survive. Okay. So Jom Settle could assist micro businesses in obtaining immediate cash flow via their credit card to pay of all business expenses. And then with Jom Settle, halal entrepreneurs as well can inject new capital through the credit cards. Okay, so and now with this initiative, halal entrepreneurs can make payment on halal certification, consultation fee, training fee, supplier bills, premise rent, and other business overhead using their credit card promptly without disrupting existing cash flow. So whenever that revenue come in, just utilize it to repay the credit card amount. So, and with this way, entrepreneurs have the potential to increase, okay, their business capital longer and spend on the other business strategy proposals using the cash they have reserved. Okay, so another initiative that we would like to highlight also, because of on top of existing them to pay off their business expenses, we also empower them to receive credit card payment without the needs of setting up their own website, payment gateway integration, or acquire a credit card terminal. Okay, so with these two initiatives, make payment using credit card and receive payment using credit card, Jom Satu is not only assisting them in terms of cash flow, but also expedite and secure payment faster via credit card virtually. So this gives the halal micro SME a competitive advantage over their competitors who actually can't accept any credit card receiving facilities. Okay, so the special offer, okay, based on this collaboration, Jom Satu is offering an exclusive and the lowest transaction rate to those who actually HIP members. Okay, so we are offering at 2% instead of we are offering 2.5% to the public.
Okay. Okay, this is exclusive for HIP members, yeah?
Yes, correct, Syilda.
All right, thank you so much, Mehmet. All right, from Jom Satu, we are leaping to MicroLeap. Okay, Matthew Noel Fernandez, he is the partner and CEO of Micro. Matthew, how does MicroLeap help the halal micro SMEs and SMEs? Tell us.
Yes. Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
And yes, you know, I'm actually likewise with all the other panelists. We're very excited to be not just partnering up with HTC, but to be part of HIP. And just to introduce a little bit of our background, most of us in our team are made up of bankers and everyone in between. And we are a proudly Malaysian fintech company that focuses on the microfinance sector and moving into the Islamic SME space. And we're the first P2P operator, which is peer-to-peer financing, regulated by Securities Commission Malaysia, that offers Islamic and conventional financing on the same platform. Basically, how it works is P2P financing is an alternative financing tools that allow the MSMEs to obtain financing from investors, which makes it anyone between you, me, our corporate investors, as institutional investors like the Ministry of Finance, etc., without having to go through a financial institution. Therefore, we are both an alternative financing product as well as an alternative investment product that is specifically for Islamic product offerings that we have, which are plenty. Just to also highlight, according to Securities Commission Malaysia, there's an 80 billion ringgit MSME funding gap in Malaysia, and it's primarily due to a lack of access. The bank's credit criteria is too stringent, and the outreach to rural areas is very difficult, and cost per revenue per financing, the small loans are just too expensive for these banks, and they usually target larger profitable loan slash financing structures. And where we come in is basically how we're going to plug this gap is the low customer acquisition costs. We're primarily focused on technology, from the application, KYC, payments, drawdown, everything's performed online. Less budget constraints because of our relatively lower costs. We have a much wider reach. MicroLeap itself has reach in every single state. I think that's also something which we've worked out with HTC, something's quite attractive for both parties. Because from Sabah, Sarawak, Perlis to Johor, as well as Klang Valley, we're able to reach all of them, and we're also able to scale up quickly. And I think a very key factor here is we increase financial inclusion by giving access to credit, as well as micro insurance, no extra cost to either the MSME that needs financing, as well as the investor. So it's a good mitigation process. And I think the main thing is Malaysia is ripe for digital financial services. Smartphone penetration, internet penetration in 2018 was around 80%. So obviously now at 2021, given the current unprecedented times we're facing, it's obviously at a much higher rate.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Let's say Makcik Kia in Kuala Pilar wants to make application, how do we make this kind of application? And how does, like you say, as P2P investment, you know, how do we make investment? Could you explain on that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think the main thing is, as already mentioned, we are the best in class, I would say, in terms of being fully online, digital end-to-end Islamic financing solution, as well as an investment solution. Our ease of access, credit criteria, evaluation, everything Makcik Kia, or even our famous JB Pisang Goreng seller, in need, even though they may not have had 30-year business, but 3-year or less than 3 years SSM. But because we already see the fact that they've done online they've pivoted online during this pandemic times.
Yeah.
We managed to do our credit scoring and alternative credit scoring like psychometric testing, all online in English, BM, Mandarin, etc. And that helps all these MSMEs to get their financing from us. And then for all these investors who want to make an impact investment, they can invest in Makcik Kia, as well as the SMEs that we have online, Islamic SME financing options we have as well. And
I think we have a slide there so that the Makcik Kia would would love to get in touch with you. Can we have the slide up? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So go ahead, Matthew, on your explanation.
Yeah, so I think as mentioned on the slide, it's we are the first that offers the Islamic and conventional P2P option. We're the first provider P2P platform that does that. But I think also just to clear cut for all Makcik Kia, as well as Islamic SME products that we have, new offerings that we have, because Microcredit Plus was just launched in that is up to 500,000. It's just launched in June 2021. And it ranges from P2P financing that is up to 500,000, Islamic car dealer financing, which is collateralized car dealer financing, all done over on the back of a commodity trade, commodity murabaha, tawarruk arrangement. That's up to 300,000 per note. Invoice financing, which is very interesting and very, I would say, we have a clear-cut example on our platform right now is a PPE that also again pivoted during these times, but they have two $350,000 notes that has gone through us. And of course, this is something which I'm very excited for all the HIP members to partake in, because we as long as we have verified the invoice, it's going through our secondary current account. Investors have that secured financing option that they know that it's on the back of an invoice, as well as the speed, because our main, I would say another best-in-class feature is that our processing time end-to-end is 2 weeks compared to our financial landscape of banks, money lenders, and MFIs, microfinance institutions. We take up from 1 to 3 months on average. And again, our safety of investments, I think a very, very important thing to highlight is that all the funds are held in trust accounts. All the issuers have a guarantor. There's a key personal accident insurance to cover, macam I cakap tadi, say the food truck driver going to an accident, broke his arm, then the entire balance of his financing, say 40,000 out of 50,000 ringgit, is completely covered by our microinsurance partner. They pay to the trustee pays to all the investors, as well as all our online video training, basic debt management, accounting training, English BM, and our credit criteria, psychometric testing, all this, everything is available online via our platform. And of course, we are strictly regulated by Securities Commission Malaysia, SC.
All right, fantastic, Matthew. Okay, that was a promising and interesting discussion. I'm sure there'll be more in the pipeline to secure Halal integrated platform strategic partners. HDC and HIP welcomes all services that can help and leverage members of HIP and of course, grow the industry. Thank you so much to the panelists, Dr. Nazreen, Mehmet, and also Matthew. Hope we can see again. Please remember to check out please check out the Halal integrated platform at hip.hdcglobal.com. Register, get connected, get together, speak to HDC, and how to be part of HIP. And that we end the session too. Thank you. Hello again. We are now going into our last segment of our session today. We will be exploring the financial facilities and services available on the Halal integrated platform that will assist in expanding and certainly improve your business needs into the global market. All right, one interesting point that I want to say is somehow HIP initiatives by HDC, of course, has managed to bring financial institutions today to work hand in hand, of course, to complement, to provide financial facilities in various areas in halal industry. Right, for session 3, we shall have representative and distinguished guests. First of all, let me introduce Encik Rosli Abdul Aziz, Head Business Development, SME Banking, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. Encik Rosli, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Assalamualaikum, Puan Syilda.
Waalaikumsalam. And next in line, we have Encik Nur Muhammad Amin, Head of Business Development Unit, Commercial Banking, CIMB Islamic Bank Berhad. Encik Amin?
Hi, Assalamualaikum, Puan Syilda and panelists. Good to be here. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, we have from Muhammad Malaysia Berhad, Bank Muhammad Malaysia Berhad, we have Mustaza Muhammad, Head SME Financing Department.
Hai, Assalamualaikum semua.
Waalaikumsalam. And then we have Suzaini bin Mukhtar, Head Islamic Retail Banking, Standard Chartered, Sadiq Berhad.
Assalamualaikum Syilda. Assalamualaikum all. Good evening.
Okay, wow, Alhamdulillah. All right, a little bit of background. We all know there is a huge demand for Sharia compliant companies and businesses. However, the halal industry also faces challenges due to the lack of funding. Okay, thank you all for the panelists. Do share and give a little intro about yourself and your organization. Let's begin with Bank Islam. Encik Rosli Abdul Aziz.
Thanks, Puan Syilda. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. Okay, I am Rosli Abdul Aziz, Head of Business Development, SME Banking Division, Bank Islam. Bank Islam is a first local bank, full-fledged Islamic bank that offering a full suite of financial solutions to businesses and also individuals.
Okay. All right, perhaps I can ask you some question of this. I understand that Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad and the Halal Development Corporation Berhad HDC recently launched the Go Halal SME Financing Program with an initial funding portfolio of 100 million ringgit to support the development of the country, halal ecosystem and industry. So tell us more on the services offered by Bank Islam that are available exclusively on Halal Integrated Platform.
Bank Islam and Halal Development Corporation recently have signed the MOU, and Bank Islam have committed and also allocated 100 million ringgit Malaysia Go Halal SME Financing Fund. Under Go Halal SME Financing Fund, Bank Islam are offering a financial solution, and among it financing to halal certification, training costs, consultation fees, working capital, and also capex, capital expenditure for the SMEs. They will assist SME outside there to get the funding in order for them to get the halal certification and to grow their business domestically and also internationally. We also offer a full suite of type of facilities with term financing, a revolving facility like cash line, and also trade finance facilities. These financing facilities, we have also other services that we will be able to assist the HDC members, especially the HIP members, where actually we have SME expert, which is SME apps that will assist the SMEs to promote their product and services digitally, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, this SME expert also is a SME ecosystem for halal industry in Malaysia. So that is among the product and services that we have via our Go Halal SME financing program.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Rosli. And bear in mind that will be exclusively for the members of Halal Integrated Platform. Okay, next in line, we have Encik Nur Muhammad Amin, Head of Business Development Unit, Commercial Banking, CI and Islamic. So perhaps you can tell us what are the offerings for us.
Thank you so much, Syilda. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everybody. Very excited to be here. Thank you to HBC for giving us the opportunity to be in this session. Of course, CIMB Islamic or CIMB Bank as a whole, as a group, one of the huge supporters of halal industries. We really look halal as really a potential and generate very, very significant economy to Malaysian economy, to the global economy. And we are very open to support the SMEs when it comes to the halal opportunities. As you all know, that we have previously launched this Halal Business Ready to support our SMEs on the halal segment. For the HIT or the Halal Integrated Platform, what we are offering for the SMEs is what we call the ART or what we call it account receivable transfers. We understand that SMEs is been producing very competitive products all this while. They are producing high class, I would say, quality of product, good visual of packaging, and competitive level in terms of the international market is there. But somehow they are being left behind because of the opportunity, because of the what you call it, challenges that they are facing. You see, for the SME product to be out there, to be competitive with the other well-known product, they need to be at equal share with the well-known product. For example, if manufacturers of canned sardine, for example, they need to be somewhere in the what you call it, famous value chain outlet like Tesco, Giant, Aeon, something like that. Or even like ingredients. They are producing ingredients, they need to supply to the big names like Nestle, perhaps maybe Cadbury for confectioneries ingredients, and maybe other, maybe parts for automotive parts to Prodwa, to Proton, any kind of that. But somehow these well-known manufacturers, this well-known name, they when they buy, they only take in credit. Sometimes they can go up to 120 days credit. This SME sometimes cannot withstand this period of credit because they need to take care of their cash flow, they need to buy raw material, they need to produce, they need to pay overheads and many more. We see this is a problem to the SMEs and opportunity for us to come in and to support them. That's the reason why we come up with this account receivable transfer to support the SMEs to finance their credit period with their customers. For example, if one supplying to Tesco or to Giant for their product, they been paid say 90 days for the day they supply to them. They can come to CIMB. I'm even more than happy to provide them this 90 days in terms of financing so they can ease their cash flow. So they can use this money to purchase their raw material again, to produce again, to meet the other demand of the other customers. So they can help them to generate more and more income. As they supplying in bulk, they need to produce in volume. They increase their productivity. And when they buy in bulk, they have the negotiation strength or muscle. They can get a discount, for example, for their raw material, any kind of that. With that, they definitely will be able to increase their profitability. All in all, again, for their customers, again, will enjoy the benefit of, they don't need to finance their suppliers. The bank will help them to finance suppliers, which is the SMEs, and the SMEs is be able to grow their business because the bank is financing them. And the good thing about this is the ART here is come with the very minimum level of security. And it also comes with a very minimum or what you call it, limited cost. So it depends on case to case for the SMEs. Of course, for this Halal Integrated Platform, we are more than happy to support the SMEs, and we are more than happy. I feel very, very excited to work together with the HDC, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, thank you so much. I mean, so perhaps I would like to say that perhaps this is more of a end-to-end hand-holding services of ART, I mean.
Yes, indeed, yes.
Okay, can you elaborate more on the ART services that made available on the platform?
Yeah, again, as I mentioned earlier, this ART will provide a kind of financing to the SMEs to give them easiness for them to manage their cash flow. Whenever they supply to the big net, as I mentioned earlier, they were given the credit period by their customers to pay, say, 90 days, 120 days. They can bring the invoice to us, to the bank, and we will we will finance them up to 100% level, so they can use the money for their other commitments, for their overhead, for their raw materials, for their rollover of their business, working capital, and many more. So this ART comes with very competitive pricing, almost I would say very limited cost, and also we always ask for a very very minimum level of security. So this helps the SMEs to leverage more on this ART.
Okay, thank you so much for that extensive explanation. Next, we have in line Encik Mustaza from the Mustaza Muhammad, Head SME Financing Department, Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Basically, from Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad, we really supporting the SME. SME we can look into two different angle. Basically, based on the nature of business, it's either from the manufacturing side or from the services sides. For the bank, we look into the SME is they are unique. So everyone have a different way of requirement, but basically their requirement when it comes for the working capital requirement is either by way of pre-financing or post-financing. Pre-financing is referred to when we finance the supplier. So when they need to produce a product, they need to buy from the raw material, but they don't have the funding, that's where we come in as a pre-financing. However, for the post-financing is where that they already complete the product, they hand over to the contract order, but now contract order, basically like Encik Amin mentioned, sometimes takes 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and sometimes even 220 days. Therefore, they need money to rolling. Then they can come to us, we will support them. Okay, inshallah.
Okay, thank you, James. So perhaps you can also tell us which sector are you focusing during this challenging time and why?
Oh, thank you. During this challenging time, both sector is affected. I mean, the basic one is the manufacturing or service sector, but for the Malaysia itself, if you look into GDP for last year, it's about 49% is coming from the services. And also the government itself has come up with the initiative that we call it TRF, Targeted Relief Fund, which they can offer for working capital to this service sector. So Bank Muamalat is one of the FI that contributed, that joined under this program. So if the SMEs under this our TRF, what we can offer is that for the working capital, once disbursed, we also offer 12-month moratorium. This will give them more opportunity for them, to have more cash flow, to more relax, and then therefore, inshallah, by next year when the economy recover, they can start, pay back to us. Inshallah, thank you.
Okay, inshallah, thank you so much, Encik Mustaza. Okay, next we have Encik Suzaini Mukhtar from the Standard Chartered Sadiq Berhad. Okay, perhaps you can tell us what are your offerings.
Thank you, Syilda. Assalamualaikum, the panelists and all. So I would like to start with sharing a couple of data in terms of halal industry. So the global halal market is now estimated to be worth at around $2.3 trillion and still growing at the rate of 20%. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, our domestic market for halal is worth around $70 billion and expected to reach around $150 billion by 2030. At Standard Chartered, we are committed to grow halal industry via our Syariah compliant product and services. And then at Sadiq, we are the only international bank with a network spanning across Asia, Africa, and Middle East. We utilize our branch network across the globe to support Islamic trade ecosystem by connecting businesses to the international halal ecosystem. We also work closely with agencies such as HDC and Madrid in contributing a positive impact in halal industries through our various partnership and activities. Of course, being a global bank, we need a very attractive, holistic proposition and also program. So in Standard Chartered, we have a program or proposition like what we call Halal 360. So in essence, Halal 360 is a comprehensive suite of Islamic banking solution to enable local businesses and also local halal exporters to gain better access into international market. So being a global bank, these are the expertise that we bring into our clients and potential clients to connect Malaysia throughout the whole world. Then second, also we also help and assist SMEs in terms of the expansion. And then definitely when everybody have the win-win situation, we hope that more and more economic growth can contribute from the halal industry. So what is the value proposition under Halal 360? Definitely for the clients, one of the things that we are giving are the preferred CASA pricing. So most of the SMEs, they are using their current account, saving account for transaction. But what we want to build here is that client also can use the CASA to accumulate their balances with the preferred pricing that we are giving our clients. Next is attractive foreign currency exchange. Definitely when you want to go overseas, these are the key consideration that businesses are looking at, because most of the payment are in foreign currency. So we really give attractive effects to our clients. And then definitely term financing or business financing is something that they are also looking at. We're also giving a prevention rate for them. Of course, being Standard Chartered, we open up a few corridors internationally to our clients. So we are also facilitating Asia Middle East Halal Corridor. We facilitate companies to export halal to Middle East. We also have B2B engagement with our government agencies. And then being the best supply chains finance bank, cross-border value chain that connect all the ecosystem is our expertise. So with our trade payable management and also vendor prepayment management, this will assist our clients in terms of post-shipment, post-acceptance supplier financing to allow them to be able to facilitate their transaction better. And then the next one is definitely we have a dedicated resources to manage our clients. And then we have various contact points that clients can come and approach us in terms of getting the facility.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Suzaini. Perhaps you can also explain how does Standard Chartered help drive local business, our local Malaysian business, bring it export ready via Halal 360?
Okay, thanks, Syilda. That was a quite interesting question. So being local bank, we support both local and international. But definitely being in Malaysia for 146 years old, the oldest bank in Malaysia, definitely the focus is to develop our own local businesses. So what we have, like as what I mentioned earlier, we have various tie-up with government agencies. We also participate in the fund program. We also have some packages with HSBP and also with CGC. And then we also provide, as I mentioned, a dedicated resources that is willing to go extra mile to the client's doorstep as and when the clients needs our assistance. And then definitely not to mention with the current COVID situation, these are one of the so-called services that we offer. Plus our digitization or internet banking or online banking is better, or I can say, or at par with the one that we have in the current market. So I think these are definitely all the services that we are going extra mile to our local businesses and also local SMEs.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Suzaini. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, the panelists, an area of financial services for you to choose and approach. Okay, with that last note, I would like to thank our list of panelists for being with us today, discussing, exploring, and also explaining on their offerings. Also working together to push and assist the halal industry to greater heights, especially in the areas of funding. All right, please remember to check out the Halal Integrator platform at hib.hdcglobal.com. Register, please register, get connected, and together, inshallah, we would be able to grow and expand our halal market, reaching globally. And with that, we end the session 3. Thank you. Thank you so much for those who have time until the end of the session. So we have a little bit of time here. Perhaps we can ask further questions on Halal Integrated Platform. With that, I call upon Hafiz Jamaluddin, Head of HIP. Thank you for your earlier demonstration, Hafiz. So we have received some questions from registered participants ahead of time and would like to have Hafiz to attempt to answer these. Okay, my first question would be, this would be a market opportunity. How can the Halal Integrated Platform help the local businesses to drive the growth and enter emerging or new markets?
Okay, that's a good question. So once you registered in HIP, you have access to suppliers, you have access to other businesses. So that's where you can actually either work together, or you can see how can they complement to your business. That's number one. Number two, once you register in HIP, you can actually let us know what sort of market that you want to explore. So from there, we can actually help businesses to do business networking. So not just locally, but we are looking at globally as well. So what I would like to highlight here is that HIP is just a platform, but on top of that, what we are going to do, or what we are going to offer in our to our HIP members, are the programs that currently available in HDC to the public, or future programs that will be tailor-made or that will be developed to assist companies to go into new market, to adopt into new technologies, and even to go into things that beyond what we can think of right now. So that is actually our role. We want to facilitate the growth of the halal industry.
Okay, thank you so much, Hafiz. Okay, I can see this can be successful if we have more members, like the saying, the more the merrier, right? How can HDC gather members and at the same time garner the strategic partners, the industry players to be part in HIP?
All right, so just to share with everyone, even before we launched the HIP, we have already opened the pre-registration to the public. So as for now, we already have about 3,500 companies registered with us through our microsite. Even with that companies that registered with us, we have already engaged them without HIP platform, and we have started facilitating the industry itself. For example, a few months ago, I think earlier Bank Islam mentioned about their Go Halal Fund, right? So that was launched a few months ago, and they already take us, and they up until today, they even want approved application already. So there's more coming. So what we are doing is that prior to the launching, we already open up the pre-registration. That's number one. Number two, on top of whatever that on top of the pre-registration, what we do is that we work with government agency, we work with private agency that has the program of entrepreneurship programs under them, and we offer HIP to be part of their program. So that's where we will get them to be on board on HIP. And I think the final initiative that we do is we work with associations, SME association. We work with even the educational institution to get more members to come in. And that's the reason why we also has a talent pool already available prior to the launch itself. So hence that's where the members of halal industry can actually benefit from HIP.
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. Okay, what are immediate improvements needed and the services or assistance offered by your companies that are available on the Halal Integrated Platform?
Okay, so I wouldn't say improvements, but what I would say is that when we launch HIP, this is basically the start. The start of our HIP services, and obviously as we go along, we will introduce more and more things that will be available to our members. So as I mentioned earlier during our introduction, right, I mentioned about, we are going to have a e-procurement system. We are going to have, access to international market through e-marketplace, and then we are going to offer a lot more in HIP. So we are looking at, on a monthly basis, we will release features, initiatives, and programs for that so that our members can benefit from it. So I'm looking forward to see how our industry can benefit from this HIP in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah. All right, this is a burning question I would like to ask you again, Hafiz. If a company is not a so-called company in halal industry, okay, and potentially interested, can they join in?
Okay, all right. HIP is open to everyone, and of course, the aspiration of HIP is actually to help the small and medium enterprise, including micro, to be part of the halal industry. And of course, I understand that when you are that small, maybe halal certification may not be your priority at the moment. However, we would like them to be on board and to enjoy the benefit of halal industry, and eventually we will encourage them to get the halal certification. So there are two parts here. The first part is what we call a pre-certification group, where people who produce halal product can participate, and we encourage them to participate in HIP and try to explore on the market that's available to them. And once they get the halal certification, that's where we call a post certification. This group is the one that we are going to help them to groom to become an exporter. So we want, as the main objective of MITI, we want to main objective of HDC, we want to create more and more halal industry exporters from Malaysia. So hence we can fill up the gap of these $3 trillion US dollar halal industry value. So those are the things that we are looking at through HIP.
All right, that was some valuable answers from Hafiz. Okay, that's all we have for this session, Hafiz. Thank you so much for giving us this inspiring and promising information. Alhamdulillah. Okay, for those who have other inquiries or questions with regards to HIP, you can write in at the Q&A box. Okay, coming from me, I can simplify. Halal Integrated Platform is an effort to promote Malaysia as a halal digital economic hub. And this would enable the country to capitalize on various aspects of digital transformation in line with the fourth industrial revolution, IR 4.0. Okay, please be a member of HIP. The website is hip.hdcglobal.com. Register, get connected, and be friends of HDC. Or marilah berkawan dengan HDC. That is all for today. Thank you for participating in today's session. I'm Syilda Ismail of Kini Halal. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Stay safe.